Shalom. Call Holo Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the Akim that are preaching and teaching with all truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bayat, the Dawadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad amongst the heathen, and that also look like the heathen, but their father's line goes back to the nation of Israel. I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. I am Darash from Men of Valor Las Vegas camp. And this evening's lesson is, there is power in faith. Even though the brothers in this truth, we all have our own measure of faith, but faith nonetheless, there's power in it. This is going to be the book of Hebrews, chapter 1, chapter 11, verse 1. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So, even though we don't see it, but we believe it. You know, the old saying, seeing is believing, but switch that around. If you believe, then you'll see. So we're willing to bet everything on this. Even though the Lord isn't with us in the physical, but in the spirit, He is there. And that's what most people don't understand. This is a spiritual thing, not a carnal thing. All right. Dropping down to verse 6. It says, but without faith it is impossible to please Him. For he that cometh to the power must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. So, if you don't have your faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, ultimately He's displeased with you. And if you cometh to Him, you must believe that He is the Most High, and that there is none like Him, and that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. Diligently seeking Him, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, His doctrine, His word. So He will reward you if you seek out the book. All right, we're going to go to Romans chapter 10, verse 17. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the power. So faith cometh by hearing. So you hear this doctrine, through the prophets, the men out there on the highways and byways that are speaking this word, hearing by the word of the power. So when you hear this word, you have to put all your belief and trust in it, because faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the power. So you have to hear, and then after that, that's when faith comes in. Do you believe in this? All right, now this is going to be the book of Luke. Book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 37. For with the power, no thing shall be impossible or impossible. So nothing's impossible with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. With Him, everything's possible. And that's one thing that, you have to remember if you truly have faith in the doctrine and in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And another word for faith is belief. You have to believe. Next is going to be Ephesians chapter Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. And it says, for by grace, another word for grace is mercy, are ye saved, through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the power. So you have to give the credit and all the honor, glory, and praise unto the Lord, because, like I said, He's the one that, roughly paraphrasing, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So, right now we are in the grace period, so this is the time of mercy. Through faith, it is not of yourselves; it is of the gift of the power. So, by Him and through Him, are we given mercy in this time to this grace period, the time that we need to get right. In verse 9 it says, "Not of works, lest any man should boast." So, salvation is not it's not a reward of all the good things that we have done, and we shouldn't really boast about it. Verse 10, it also says here, "For we are His workmanship," meaning we are His masterpiece, created anew, created in Hamashiach Yahushai, unto good works, which the power hath before ordained that we should walk in them. So, this was planned out long before us, that we planned out long before us unto good, it's part of His will. It's all part of His master plan, that we should walk in them, in the good works of this book, of the Word here. Next is going to be this is going to be the book of James, chapter 2, verse 26. "For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also." So, if you really believe in this, you have to show it. You have to show your belief by doing as the Lord commands, which is keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments, and following His ways. Roughly paraphrasing, you have Salakia. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So, in order to get this, you have to fear the Lord. You have to humble yourself, and you have to fear Him. And then, then He'll open your mind to get this instruction, the knowledge. But, fools who are prideful, they despise instruction because they lean upon their own understanding. And that also goes into the book of this is going to be Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. And it says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding." So, that's part of humbling yourself and forgetting what you think you know, letting go of your pride. Lean not unto thine own understanding, letting go of your own pride, forget what you think you know, and be willing to be retaught again. Because, roughly paraphrasing Romans 15:4, things aforetime were written for our learning. And in verse 6 it says here, "In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy path." So, acknowledge, give that reverence unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and He shall direct thy paths. He's not going to steer you wrong. That's another thing too I want to go into here. This is going to be this is the book of 1 Corinthians. The book of Corinthians, chapter 3. 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 13. Now it says here, "Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is." So, I said before in James chapter 2 verse 26, faith without works is dead. So, we are to be, people of action. We have to show, if we truly believe in this, we have to show it through our actions and do what is required of us, of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because it's going to be revealed by fire to see if it is genuine or if it's fake. To see if you are genuine or if you're fake. If you're fake, then, the Lord's just going to cast you aside. But if you are genuine and sincere, He will keep you. So, and it says here in verse 14, if any man's work abide which he hath built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. So, if your works, are built upon the belief of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and the Word, you shall receive that reward. That's why there's power in faith, and faith is not something you should take lightly, because the more faith you have and the more you show it through the works, that's all the more power to you. You can't go wrong with that. That's why we are counted as fools for Yahushai's sake, because when he was out there during that time, people looked at him sideways. They mocked and scoffed him. So, the servant's not greater than the master, so what do you think we're doing? We're standing boldly for the truth through faith and having to endure all the mocking and scoffing and people looking at us sideways. But in all truth and reality, they're listening to what's going on. They're listening to what we're saying. One day it's going to come back to bite them in the ass. So, regardless of what we go through, back to Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Always believe in Him, that He's with you, and that He's got your back. And lean unto thine own understanding, Let go of your pride. Let go of the cares of this life, of this world, because there's nothing to gain from it. And go to the book. Let's close out here with excuse me. This is going to be Mark chapter 11 verse 24. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. So, in prayer and giving prayer and supplication and getting all thanksgiving unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you got to be sincere and have a belief that if you ask of something, the Lord will give it to you. That's why prayer is also important, but mainly the faith. If you don't have no faith, then what's the point of praying? Because you don't believe. So, when you come into this, you gotta wholeheartedly, put all your faith and trust in it. You can't have one foot in and one foot out. You can't half-ass it. You can't be lukewarm or anything like that. You either you're in or you're out. Black or white. There's no in between with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. None. Either or. Make that choice. So once again, I hope this was an edifying lesson unto the body and to those that are new in the truth, that are listening and learning with all truth and sincerity. I hope this was an edifying lesson. Once again, it's entitled "There Is Power in Faith." So, You know, you know, the only way you can increase your faith in this is, to pray. Pray to Yahweh Shem Shai, and to keep and do his good works, and, always put your faith and trust in him. Trust in him from start to finish. Always. So, even though every brother has his own measure of faith, but, faith nonetheless is power. And then with the times that we're living in, we're definitely going to have all the faith that we got, and then some, and even more so, to make it through this, because hard times are coming. So with that, I'd like to give all the honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone. Peace and blessing to the Akim that are preaching and teaching with all truth and sincerity. And to the men, women, and children that are listening and learning, and to the Ba'ath and Dawadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad amongst the heathen, and that also look like the heathen, but their father's line goes back to the nation of Israel. I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. Once again, I am Darash from Men of Valor Camp, Las Vegas. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharala Wa Baba Bal. Shalom.